Hey, what's up, everybody? I made it. So this is a little bit of a recap video post Easter. So as most of you know, on Easter I was down at 420 Fest, and that's where the fast actually ended. So I was down there at 420 Fest for Sweetwater. By the way, thanks so much to Nick Luciano, Lucky Luciano at Sweetwater, and also to Freddie, the owner of Sweetwater. That was an amazing time. They gave us VIP tickets. We got to watch the Avett Brothers and Jason Isbell and JJ Mofro and Moon Taxi and Revolution. And I mean, there was just so many great bands that played down there. It was an amazing festival. It was just a complete class act. Everything was amazing. The venue was awesome. So thanks so much to Sweetwater, and thanks so much for having us down there. It was an amazing time. I was able to weigh in. There was a scale, so I posted that video the day before Easter. So everyone saw that I lost 44 pounds. So in 46 days, I lost 44 pounds. It was an amazing journey. Everybody wants to know, like, what happened after midnight on Easter. So basically, I had a box of bone broth with me that I bought from Whole Foods, and I think it was the Fire and Kettle bone broth. So all the kitchens were closed places in Atlanta at midnight. So I had that bone broth. We were at a bar restaurant, and I told them, I was like, hey, I'm doing this thing. Can I go ahead and, eat this bone broth at your restaurant? And they didn't care. They were fine with it. So cut that box open, and again, it was cold, but I had it, and it was horrible. It sucked. So I was like, man, this is like so disappointing. And people were like, Dell, you haven't had any food in 46 days. You would think that would taste amazing, but I have been drinking the world's best craft beers. So I've been drinking tons of things with flavors in them. So I've been drinking things with coconut and chocolate and vanilla and sour beers and fruit beers. So I've been getting lots of flavor. It's more about the texture. So I didn't really, I wasn't feeling that bone broth. So back to the bone broth. It was horrible. So me and Nick and a couple other reps decided to find something late night that I could eat. Something easily digestible and something that was basically texture-wise smooth. So we ended up going to a Mexican restaurant in Atlanta, and there was guacamole, and that was one of the things I missed the most. So I had, I don't know, 3 or 4 ounces of guacamole, and it was hands down the best guacamole I've ever had in my life. I mean, I don't know if it was just because I hadn't eaten anything in that long, or did this place really have really good guacamole? I don't know, but it was really good, and it was amazing, and it had the perfect level of spice and flavor, and I don't care what the reason was, it was the best guacamole I've ever had. From there, I woke up on Easter morning and got ready because we are checking out of the hotel and everything else, and decided to, get everyone together. At least, most people wanted to have like a traditional Easter brunch before we went over to the music festival at 420 Fest. So I actually ordered scrambled eggs and rye toast, and it was amazing. So I had, a scrambled egg, and I could only eat half the piece of rye toast. So, I mean, my stomach was so small, but it was amazing. Again, it was great. So I was super happy about that. Nothing happened digestive wise that needed any kind of attention. I went to the festival all day. They had this really cool health food smoothie food truck, and I had later in the afternoon I had a banana and strawberry and oat milk fruit smoothie. Again, it was great. So no issues all weekend long. And then I had a handful of cashews on the ride back from Atlanta. And then I had just a normal salad, like a very small house salad on Monday with some ranch dressing and some oil and vinegar. Not too much of any of those things, and again, it was great. And then yesterday, I was in Dayton, Ohio, and I had an Impossible Burger from Lucky's in the Oregon district in Dayton. And if you don't know what an Impossible Burger is, because people kept saying like, "Dell, what are you doing? You're eating this whole burger. Like, you need to stop. Like, what are you doing? You're gonna ruin everything." An Impossible Burger is a vegan alternate patty. So they call it an impossible burger because it's impossible that it's a veggie patty. And it was amazing and it was great. And I did feel like I was eating a regular burger, but I was just eating, a plant-based, nutrient-filled veggie burger. And I also had, then the fries next to it were sweet potato fries. So that's what I had. It was amazing. So I'm super happy to be eating again. So that'll lead me into kind of like what's going to happen from here. So I mean, I basically wanted to use this to break my addiction to food in general, to bad eating habits. Wanted to get back to like my fasting protocols. So in the past, I always did like intermittent fasting, where you have basically an eating window and then a fasting window. A lot of people start out with like 16-8, so that means like 16 hours a day you're fasting, and then 8 hours a day you fit in all your calories in that window. That never really worked too well for me. I'm a little more all or nothing for that. So I always ended up doing like a 20 and 4. I think they call that like the warrior intermittent fast plan. So it was like 20 hours a day I was fasting, 4 hours a day I was eating. So I'm gonna go kind of back to that. I also did a lot of longer fasts. So almost every day, and I was probably like a year and a half. Almost every week I did at least a 40 to 48 hour long fast once a week. So it was normally like Sunday from like noon to Tuesday at noon, or sometime Tuesday morning. So I'm gonna get back to that schedule. So once I get settled in and get back to normal eating habits, I'm giving myself kind of this week to kind of ease back into eating. I still haven't had any meat yet, so I'm gonna like do that and get back into my fasting protocol and see if I can just use this rapid weight loss of 44 pounds. Obviously, I'm eating some food. I'm going to put a little bit back on, but I'm going to be very cognizant and make sure that I don't go overboard. And then what I want to do is just use this as like my jump off. So that's a great head start. And now when I get into like more healthy eating habits and more sustainable eating habits, I want to continue this and continue the weight loss. And so what I want to do is basically do an updated video, maybe like once a week. I don't know if I'm going to have like a set schedule or not, but I'll do some video and just kind of keep everything with social media the way it is, and post my weight and post my struggles, what I'm eating, what I'm not, how I'm fasting, all those general things. And of course, the whole time I'm going to be incorporating beer. That's what I do for a living, right? So I sell beer. So I'm always going to include beer in all aspects of my life. So I'm going to continue that and keep everyone updated moving forward on how I'm doing health-wise and how I'm doing weight-wise, and I'll see you guys, like once a week. And if you have any questions, make sure you post them in the comments. Make sure you let me know on social media if there's any kind of video content that you would like to see as well. This is all new to me. I've only had a YouTube channel, since the beginning of Lent. So any kind of suggestions are welcomed, and I'll see you guys around.